Okay. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Barbara Colton, and I'm Vice President of the Board of Trustees here at Mainline Unitarian Church. We are welcoming and nurturing hearts and minds with spiritual growth, care and comfort, and lifelong learning as we work together in beloved community to create a more just world. Welcome to all of you here and to all the friends joining us online today. An especially warm welcome to a number of the visitors that I saw this morning in the atrium. Welcome. We look forward to getting to know you more during coffee hour, which we're holding across the hall in the fireside room right after the service. Our worship team is led by Reverend John Morehouse, our senior minister. We also have Dawn Sarah Borchelt, our Director of Lifespan Faith Development, Paul Costa, our worship associate, and David Brown, our Director of Music, along with special music performers today, Schrodinger's Cats and Tina Adams on piano. We have a full and wonderful service today. We've got bridging seniors, commissioning pilgrims, volunteer recognitions, and a mix of great music. Now, let's get started together, but first, an announcement from our Reverend John Morehouse.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good to see you all. Welcome, 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 and thank you, Barbara, for that. As some of you know, our parish nurse, Ann Bear Clark, retired in April and received a nice note from her the other day that she loves you all, but she's really enjoying retirement. And we've been looking for a religious professional to take on that task of congregational care. But in the meantime, one of our very newest members, Bill Cluley, has stepped up and offered to do this job, which in fact he does professionally. He is the Reverend Dr. Bill Cluley, a retired Lutheran pastor who wished he'd discovered Unitarian Universalism a long time ago. If I can put you on the spot, Bill. And I want to introduce you so you see his face, and he'll be doing this as a volunteer, as the interim minister for congregational care. So let's welcome Bill, and Bill, come on up here.
Just a short word of thanks for the opportunity to serve. It's always a pleasure to get to know a new congregation, and this will facilitate that greatly for me. It gives me an opportunity to meet a lot of new friends and new people and to become part of this warm and welcoming community. Where's Barbara? Barbara was right here. I want to thank Barbara for the gracious welcome Pat and Kitty and I, our friend Kitty, received when we first came on the first day. And it was just an expression of the heart and soul of this whole congregation. And thank you for the opportunity to serve you.
Now let's join together in saying our mission statement. Together, we transform lives through love, service, and our welcoming faith.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. We find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. And you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. If you ever feel much how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, we find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh. You can count on me 'cause I can count on you. You can count on me 'cause I can count on you. You can count on me 'cause I can count on you.
Our chalice lighting this morning is Different Yet United by Pat Uribe Liechty. We come from many places, along different paths, bringing different truths. We come with different histories and different realities. And yet we come together as one people with faith that we can use our differences to heal ourselves and each other, to bring wholeness to a fractured world. We come seeking to find community, to find acceptance of who we are. In this place, we may find others who are much like us and others who are much different. May our lit chalice remind us that we are a people taught by different stories, with many voices, but always one people, working for a world where love creates justice and justice gives birth to peace. Blessed be. Please stand in body or spirit for our opening hymn, number 322, Thanks Be for These.
Our bridging youth are those who are leaving high school this year, graduating, moving forward into life as young adults, perhaps working or attending college or both. Our bridging ceremony recognizes each bridger as a person who has enriched our community. We get to learn a little bit about what they plan to do with their lives next, looking with them eagerly across the bridge they are about to set out across.
We have watched these youth grow and learn, and we have helped them form their own beliefs and ideals. Our wish for them is that they continue to become who they most truly are, and that they deepen their faith and grow their spirit and community as they pass through all the phases of their lives.
We are recognizing two young people in our ritual of bridging this year, Robin Borchelt and Lila Jackson Molnar. Here they are on video, which both of them chose as more comfortable, perhaps not surprising in people whose formative years were lived online during a global pandemic, to introduce themselves to you and tell you what they're hoping to do over the next year.
Hi, my name is
Up
Robin
is definitely
Borchelt.
what they're
I'm
hoping.
graduating this spring, and these are my plans. First, I'm going to be going to Texas to lifeguard for about 1.5 months, and then going on the church trip to Varfovla. Once I get back from the church trip, I'll be going to Japan for a month with my friend and cousin. And then after that, I don't know what I'll be doing. I know I want to travel as much as possible. And I think the one thing that I've learned from growing up UU is to treat others how you wish to be treated.
Hi, my name's Lila Jackson Molnar. Next year, I'm planning to attend the University of Rochester and study biology on the pre-med track. I want to be a doctor someday and go to med school and learn all about medicine and science. So I think it'll be the perfect place to do that. I've also been participating in a program called Medical Careers through school this year, and that further inspired me. So I just feel very passionate about studying that now. It's exciting. One thing I just want to reflect on that I took away from MLUC was just to be respectful and understanding and open of all religions and cultures. And I feel like I've learned so much about different people and their beliefs, and I'm very open to anyone's ideas or thoughts. So thank you so much.
Each of our bridgers will receive a personal gift from our church community later this month.
Our wish for our bridgers is that they will, without fear, bring their energy, their passions, their openness, in short, their whole selves, to transforming the world through love, service, and living out our shared faith.
We hope our bridgers know that wherever they may go, they can always return here, and it will always be home.
This month's offering outreach partner is T&E Care, a wonderful group who does extraordinary work in the Tredyffrin and Easttown Township area. This morning we have a special guest, Jean Allen, who will introduce the organization and tell us all about all their wonderful work. Jean?
Thank you, Paul. And thank you to Tracy Simpson, who nominated T&E Care to be here today. So T&E Care started in 2005. We're 19 years old now, and the basic idea is neighbors helping neighbors. It's really that simple. We are an all-volunteer organization. No one is paid. Basically, 99% of donations go to our recipients. Our recipients are our neighbors, and they are people that year to year, and issues with things, they need help with their rent, utilities, car repairs, college assistance. These are all the things that T&E Care does. We do approximately $350,000 in bills each year to our neighbors in need. We also support summer camps and school lunch accounts and really all different kinds of things that come up. We also run drives. We have 2 big drives, our holiday drive, which helps over 100 families in the area, and a school supply drive, which is actually happening right now. And I believe there's a youth group here that's collecting markers for us. So we actually pack up the book bags to the kids that can't afford their own school supplies. There's 7,000 children in the TE school district, 250 of which are, quite frankly, unable to purchase their own supplies. So we do that for them. We received some grants, but our main donors are actually community members just like you. They're just people that care about their neighbors and want to give back, and we also do have a few local businesses that help us out as well. School groups and churches, just like you guys, occasionally run fundraisers and do things to help us, and all that is really helpful. We host a big community fundraiser in the fall. It's kind of changed year to year. This year, it's going to be in September at Waynesboro Country Club. Anyone's invited that can make it. You'll see those. And the Philly Keys are going to be like a dueling piano set that will be going. So that's super exciting entertainment for that. And I just wanted to say we're so grateful that you guys would consider T&E Care today and this month. Ultimately, neighbors helping neighbors sounds like what you guys are all about as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Jean. In addition to Jean, we have a few other folks here from T&E Care, so hopefully we'll give them a warm MLUC welcome during the coffee hour. If you would like to make a donation online, follow the instructions that you see on the screen behind me. If you are in the sanctuary, you can also scan the Q&R code that is on the order of service to make a cashless donation. The offering will now be gratefully received.
In his arms she
like to continue this spirit of gratitude. And it takes all of us to make this community hum and work. And so, on behalf of the board, we would like to thank everyone for sharing your gifts of time and treasure during this past year. We have something like 85 groups, teams, and committees to thank. We're going to try to do this in under 3.5 minutes. It could get ugly, but bear with us. Please stand and remain standing when we call out your group, committee, or team, and remain standing throughout the rest of this. And here we go.
Afghan family, auction team, auction creatives, assistant minister search, audit, board of trustees, book groups, bookstore, buildings and grounds, cakes for the queen, card fairy.
Caregivers Support Group, Child Care Help, Children and Youth RE Committees, Choir, Church Communications, COA Mentors and Teachers, Coffee Hour Food, Community Matters, Moderators, Congregational Response Team.
Conversations on Aging, Crossing Paths Teachers, Endowment Committee, Environmental Justice Group, Family Promise of the Main Line, Fellowship Dinners, Finance Committee, and Folksing.
GA delegates, gardeners, green stripers, Betsy's Bells, holiday decorators, ministerial intern committee, Jazz and Joe, Justice for the Middle East, Labor Day picnic, lecture lunches. Legislative advocacy team, meal providers, media services group, meditation groups, memorial service team, men's breakfast, MLUC guest musicians, moderator.
Multi-Gen Choir, Music Task Force, Nominating Committee, Norristown Hospitality Center, Offering Outreach, Owl Adult, Owl Youth, Parkinson's Support Group.
Partner Church, Pastoral Care Associates, Parsonage Renovation, Pew Players, Plant Waterer, Pride Events participants, Racial Justice, Rideshare Givers, Seder, Small Group Ministry, Singles Group, Spanish Group, Stewardship Committee, the Art Group, Theology Explorers, Transition Team, and UUPA Legislative Action Network.
Ushers, UUs for Reproductive Justice, UUSC, UU Justice PA, Web Mistress, Workshop Room Teachers, Worship Committee and Worship Visuals, Women's Retreat Facilitators, Youth Group Advisors. Attend services live, here or online.
Thank you, everyone.
Candles of Community is MLUC's ritual of personal sharing and support in a trusted environment. Before we begin our ritual, just a bit of housekeeping. Your worship team extends their gratitude to everyone who has been using the website portal to submit their joys and concerns. Centralizing our collection in this way ensures that all members of our community and their joys and concerns can get the care and attention they need. To that end, please know that we will no longer be using the book that used to sit here next to the candles in the main meeting room. There is now a QR code on the stand that directs you to the submission form on our website. If you have any questions about how to use the website to share your joys or concerns, please ask a member of the worship team. So after each candle is lit, please join me in saying, "We hold you in our hearts." We light a candle for Nuala Carpenter, who is mourning the death of her friend, Pat Bullis. For Nuala, we hold you in our hearts. Diane Kiker lights a candle of concern and healing for her nephew, Kevin, who recently suffered a major stroke at age 43. He is currently in acute rehab and has a long road back to recovery, helped by the strong support of his family. For Kevin, we hold you in our hearts. We light a candle for Deirdre Gordon, whose sister, Sheila Gordon Ulrich, age 63, passed away on May 3rd after a lengthy illness. For Deirdre, we hold you in our hearts. And for all of those joys and concerns that are being held, some too deep for words, we light one more candle, and we hold you in our hearts.
Well, thank you everybody for being here, for the S-Cats. Always a pleasure. I saw a cartoon the other day when the vet came out and said, "Mrs. Schrodinger, we have good news and bad news." That's a philosophical joke. You'll have to ask me about it later. And I want to thank Paul for being our worship associate and getting through that tough part about the book. It's my fault, so you can come to me if you don't like that, because change is hard, and I love you very much. And to Barbara and our board of trustees and our tech team for putting on that great rolling show. I had a lot of people to thank in this group. My last congregation had 55 groups, and now I am up 30, so I think that's good. We are on a tremendous journey right now, both here in our congregation and I think in Unitarian Universalism in general. And it is my incredible privilege today and honor to be able to recognize the 28 or so people who are going on a pilgrimage to our partner church in Valvalva in what is now the country of Romania, although they speak Hungarian, so it gets complicated, as all things are in life. We leave in mid-July, and I'm going to ask those folks to please come up to the front here and just maybe stand in front of the chancel on the steps. It's an incredible heritage that Unitarian Universalists share as part of our congregational heritage to commission and to charge a group of people such as this to go out into the world and to make it a better place. This group of people and others who are coming, including I think 4 kids, there they are, they're up behind me. All these other people behind me are all going to be in that beautiful little town. We're going to share in what is going to be an absolutely amazing journey. Our gift to them is actually going to be music. You'll hear a little bit more about it in a little bit here, but music and the ability to play music, because we have 2 of our great musicians on this trip, at least 2, and of course all of us who want to sing in Hungarian will be there as well. So let me first ask the pilgrims here assembled before us. You are embarking on a great journey to connect and build a relationship with our partner church, a relationship that spans many years. Are you prepared to bring your best selves, to be open to the experience, to learn, and to bring our greetings, and then bring your lessons back to our people? If so, please signify by saying we will. And I'd like the congregation to join with me, please, in charging them this congregational affirmation printed in the order of service. Let's join our voices together. We, the members and friends of MLUC, send you, our pilgrims, to our partner church with love and thanks in order that you might further our transforming faith. Let's give them a round of applause. And now we have some special music just for the occasion.
So I wrote this tune, the Farfalla Reel, I guess about a year before they sent their pilgrims here, and so I was able to, Elise and I were able to play it for them. And I think since then it's been more refined a little, and so we have a guest cat here.
He's a kitten. Just saying.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Jansen, that's absolutely powerful. Thank you. That's just amazing. I can't wait to play it there in Varfalva. Accent on the first syllable, Varfalva. I got it right. Who knew? Thank you all. One of my favorite scenes from the movie The Lion King, which is terribly, as I think about it now, very, very colonial and imperialistic and all the things that are not good anymore. But you all remember the movie, the cartoon, when Timon the meerkat and his best pal, Pumbaa, the warthog, who has a problem with fluctuating, are lying on the grass looking up at the stars, and Pumbaa says, "Timon, ever wonder what those sparkly dots are up there?" Timon answers, "Pumbaa, I don't wonder, I know." "Oh, what are they?" And Timon says confidently, "They're fireflies. Fireflies that got stuck on that black bluish thing up there." Pumbaa wonders, "Oh, gee, I always thought they were balls of gas burning billions of miles away." And Timon retorts, "Pumbaa, with you, everything is gas." This little exchange says a lot about our place in the cosmos, my friends. For millennia, human beings believed that the stars were pinpricks to heaven. Later, with our understanding that stars were actually independent bodies in the night sky, they believed that Earth was the center of the universe. Eventually, that was disproven, and we believed for a long time that we were the only life form in the billions and trillions of galaxies and stars. This tendency in science, and if I may say so also in religion, is known as the anthropic principle. The world and the universe in which we live was primarily created for us. As if humanity, this planet-eating, war-making, yet family-loving species, were somehow the pinnacle of all creation. Talk about self-righteousness. We know that we're not really the center of anything except our own lives, which is something that we learn when we're 2. And then sometimes we grow out of it. We know that we are quite likely one of many life forms, certainly on the planet and perhaps among other planets, which we are discovering more every single day. And on those many, many planets, it's not too far to assume that there is intelligent life, and in 4.5 billion years, perhaps they've progressed farther than we have. We know that space and time are one and the same, thanks to Mr. Einstein, and it's possible, at least at the quantum level, for 2 identical particles to exist simultaneously at different ends of the cosmos. If you haven't seen the show The 3-Body Problem on Netflix, you should watch that show. It does a good job of explaining this little quirk in quantum physics. And, of course, we don't live in that time, right? We live in linear time. We live in a time that has a past and a present, and we think and hope a future. But it is actually possible, since space-time is curved, that we may have more lives than we think we do. This has to do with, in my opinion, reincarnation, or the idea that there is a force of determinism. Maybe that's more than we want to accept as rational Unitarian Universalists. I'm not going to speculate on what this might mean for us, because after all, that's speculation. But I do think that there is more to our life than what we think there is. What I do want to say is that we need to move beyond this adolescent moment we are in right now as a species. What I do want to say is that our faith as Unitarian Universalists, indeed our future as a congregation, is following a trajectory through space and time. From our roots in Transylvania, which we will celebrate more when we go there, and let me say this, Transylvanian Unitarianism is not a primitive form of Unitarian Universalism. It's a different form. American Unitarian Universalism is something else, but I do believe that both of these are part of an emerging understanding of continuous revelation. There was a time in the 18th and 19th centuries when Unitarians, many of them, predicted the end of religion. You heard this sometimes from scientists back in the 19th and even in the 20th century, that reason would transcend this need for a God and for Scripture. As our Universalist forebears predicted, there may be a time when hell will, as they say, cease to be the burning issue that it was in the 19th century. Perhaps Unitarians think themselves more highly than they should. The old quip goes, Universalists believe that God is too good to damn them, and Unitarians believe they were too good to be damned. Turns out the Universalists were more correct. Science has revealed more and more and more of our universe, and we now know that hell is probably just what we have here on earth. Universalism, while a viable theology, in its prime directive that the force of God in our lives is love, and we'll be talking about love a lot this coming month as we are in the month we're in, as we talk about this Article 2 change in our bylaws as the Unitarian Universalist Association. Love is at the center of who we are. It is probably our best expression of ourselves theologically. But the Universalist Church of America, probably don't know this church, the Universalist Church of America, which in the 1890s boasted 3.5 million members, eventually folded into the Unitarian Universalist Association. And all those Unitarians who thought that religion would fade away, I have a news flash for you, friends. It's not going to happen. Religion is not going to go away. Because religion is more than giving answers to unanswerable questions, which is what I've heard a lot from scientists over the years. Ours is not a God that fills in the gaps. Rather, religion is finding greater meaning in a world of continuous revelation. Our own lives are we are looking for continual and greater meaning in a world that is so hurting right now. In our own lives when we ourselves are so hurting. This means, friends, that religion will live on. Our religion will live on, but I don't think in the form that we've come to expect it. Last summer, as I lay on the grass staring at a bright night sky with my oldest grandson, himself now a seventh-generation Unitarian Universalist, I asked him what he thought of the universe and our place in it. As is his custom, he's very careful about answering questions. He took his time. And finally he said, "Grandpa, I don't think we'll ever really know. I'm not even sure we'll get to leave the planet. But I know this, I know we are very small, and we have to stop acting like there is no tomorrow." We went on to talk about the warming planet, racism, corporate power, imperialism, colonialism, pretty well read for a 20-year-old guy, and how we as individuals have to act as if the world that we're bringing into being can be more than the world we have right now. Can you hear me? We went on to talk about this amazing idea that we could be something more than we see ourselves now. And then I thought, what's it going to take? For too long, liberalism has taught us that if we just keep growing, there'll be enough for everybody, right? That's not possible. You can't keep growing. The planet doesn't keep growing. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. You only have so much. My grandson's generation already knows this. And if Unitarian Universalism is going to move beyond the entropic principle, they're going to have to know this as well. Because we ourselves see ourselves as something special, don't we? This exceptionalism that I've heard since I was a kid about Unitarianism being the religion for modern times, right? Everybody just needs to be a UU and that'll be all taken care of, right? Spit spot. I'm not wrong. It's been like that. But we now know that the answer to the earth's problems, indeed our social problems, is not simply because more people need to become Unitarian Universalists. It's something deeper than that. And if we keep believing that we stand only on the shoulders of luminaries, great Unitarians and Universalists such as Emerson, Thoreau, Louisa May Alcott, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Herman Melville, Charles Darwin, and some might even claim Einstein, who attended the church in Princeton, New Jersey for a while. That somehow we have a special place in the scheme of things, but we don't. In fact, the longer we hold on to our glorious past alone, the more we're missing the coming revolution, friends. And there is a revolution coming. And Unitarian Universalism can be in that revolution. Our future will require us to move beyond seeing ourselves as only members of this church and seeing ourselves as leaders and enablers for the next generation of leaders. That's why we are here. I believe this so firmly. The reason we are here is to enable the next generation to take on the revolution, to make way for future generations that now need to save our planet and broaden our understandings as a species among species. How will we do this? We're going to need to take on bigger projects than we're used to. Think bigger, bigger. Since I've come to Philadelphia, I've met many young people in their 20s and their 30s who see a future that is anti-racist, generous, and empowering. I see them building cooperative organizations, maker spaces. I see them rescuing old buildings in Philadelphia. I see them growing organic food and actually making a difference. I see them reaching out to their neighbors and creating cooperatives. And I see this happening here already. We have so much to offer one another. We have so much to offer our community. We have, of course, all that is spiritual and good, the meditations, the retreats. But we need to step out even farther, out into the street, if you will. Here we are in this little sylvan-like setting. I look out my window at the parsonage and I say, I live in a park. Pride Month is coming up. What are we doing with that? We need to start acting more like citizens and not consumers. We can't spend our way out of a crisis. As John Alexander wrote in his beautiful book, Citizens, Why the Key to Fixing Everything is All of Us, we have, understandably, he said, lost faith in our institutions and especially in our governments. And so now we need to keep the focus closer, to strive in communities for what the world needs. Around the area, around the world, there are people, many people, this is the good news, there are many people who are not only embracing our principles, but living those principles out into the world in which they live. This is the future of Unitarian Universalism. What if we supported a farmer's market? What if we invested in young creative entrepreneurs trying to reclaim buildings in Philadelphia? What if we offered a free summer daycare camp for kids in need here? As long as we think it's about getting people into the building on Sunday alone, we're missing the revolution, friends. The call is not just to be in here, the call is to be out there. That's the call. And that's embracing pluralism in a new and powerful way. The activist Chris Krass put it this way. He said, to become an engaged and future-oriented faith community, the key for the white majority community is not how do we get more people of color to join our faith community. It's instead how can we make a prolonged, spiritually rooted, engaged commitment to uprooting racism in our community. Our goal is not to have white people sit alongside a person of color so we can affirm that white people aren't racist. That's not the idea. Our goal is to build and be part of a beloved community, united to work against the structural oppression and unleash a collective liberation. Our goal is to join hearts and minds to the task of making a new world. Inclusivity is not how do we make you part of what we are, but rather how do we become more of what you are. How will we do this? We'll step out. We'll step out of these walls. We're already starting. It's already begun. You're going to see a lot more of it. We'll step out because the world that is out there has a lot more to tell us. When I lived in California, we moved into a diverse neighborhood, San Pedro, which is actually part of Los Angeles. It's the port of Los Angeles. And I love living there. I love going to the YMCA because you could hear Russian and Slavic languages and Croatian and Greek and Italian. We lived in this neighborhood that was known as Little Italy. It had a sign that proved it, Little Italy, right here. And when Italy won the semi-cup in the finals towards the World Cup years ago, I remember the pride of the neighborhood as they rode around and went, Roma, Roma, Roma. But I learned later that as I thought about it, there were a lot less black and brown people living there. And as the time took on, I realized that there was actually a reason for that. That even in a progressive, diverse community like that, realtors had kept black and brown people out. Now, I made myself feel more comfortable with this, knowing that it was a lot different than the rich community that I served in the church in Palos Verdes, which was 95% white, 4% Asian American. And then I realized that that's just another reason, it's just another excuse, that there has to be something more. What I have realized since coming here and living in this beautiful place is that we have an opportunity here to stretch ourselves even farther than we do, and we're already doing it. Norristown's not far. Poor people are around you all the time, even here in Devon, Pennsylvania. And what are we going to do about that? What can we do? We can become engaged in ways that we haven't thought of yet. We can retell our story in ways that are more honest. We can collectively and personally find that revelation is not something that is sealed, but is something that is open in your heart. And this is so important. It is so important because, as Susan Frederick Gray said when she was president of the UUA, she said, wealth was created from those who were excluded. And now we need to reinvigorate that wealth into the communities that have been taken advantage of. Martin Luther King used to always say, and this, by the way, is not his original thought, that the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. That came from a Unitarian minister in the 19th century, Theodore Parker. But we have to do a lot more pushing on the bend, friends. We have to rise to the moral inherency that is right before us right now. And we can do this, but it's going to require us to be a little uncertain about where we're going, a little bit uncomfortable. There's such a thing as safe uncertainty. I want you to embrace that idea of safe uncertainty. And when we're able to do that, you and me and all of us here and those watching online and those who have yet to find their ways in the door and those communities who we need to stand and empower and simply listen to, we will change the world. My grandson turns 21 on Tuesday. I want to be able to look him in the eye and tell him that I'll do everything that I can, that his future will have a chance and a change. And I remembered then of the great indigenous peoples to this land, the great black elk, and I'll close with these words. Black Elk said that I was standing on the highest mountain of them all, and round about beneath me was the whole hoop of the world. And while I stood there, I saw more than I can tell, and I understood more than I saw, for I was seeing in a sacred manner the shape of all things, and the spirit and the shape of all shapes, that they must live together like one being. And I saw in that sacred hoop of my people the many hoops that made one circle wide as daylight and as starlight, and the center grew one mighty flowering tree to shelter all the children of one mother and one father. And I saw that it was holy and good. So may it be, and amen. Our closing hymn. David, do you want to explain this to us?
So, Reverend John mentioned to us earlier in the service that the pilgrims would have to sing in Hungarian. Little did you realize you were all going to be singing in Hungarian this morning. So, we are presenting a gift that is musical in nature. When we travel to Varfalva, we are giving our partner church a small collection of teal hymnals. And of course, we're going to be singing together. The lowest hanging fruit seemed to be the hymn Szeke Áldás, which is a hybrid Hungarian and English hymn. There is a verse, or a line rather, in Hungarian and a line in English, and we're going to learn both of them this morning. Now, the text is very theologically inclined, but whatever your persuasion, it's quite beautiful. Tech team, would you put the Hungarian verse up, please? So what we'll do is I will sing a couple of lines. You'll repeat after me. We'll learn the whole verse together. And the good news is the Hungarian verse is mercifully much simpler than the English. So it goes like this. Repeat after me. I'll sing a couple lines. All hit ad szeretet, all szeretet ad béke. So together, all hit, here we are, and all hit ad szeretet, all szeretet ad béke. The next line goes, all béke ad áldás, all áldás ad Isten. So all together, all béke ad áldás, all áldás ad Isten. And the final line goes, all Isten ad szükség nincsen. Together the last line. All Isten ad szükség nincsen. Let's do it all together. Tina, would you give us the two-bar introduction? All hit ad szeretet, all szeretet ad béke, all béke ad áldás, all áldás ad Isten, all Isten ad szükség nincsen. Absolutely beautiful, everybody. Thank you, Tina. Now, the next line, which is English, slightly more complicated melody, but at least you know the words. Where there is faith, there is love. Where there is love, there is peace. Let's do that together, starting here. And where there is faith, there is love. Where there is love, there is peace. The next part goes, where there is peace, there is blessing. Where there is blessing, there is God. Let's try that line together from here. Where there is peace, there is blessing. Where there is blessing, there is God. And the last line goes, where there is God, there is no need. All together. And from where there is God, there is no need. Let's do it all together. A couple bars. Here we are. From where there is faith, there is love. Where there is love, there is peace. Where there is peace, there is blessing. Where there is blessing, there is God. Where there is God, there is no need. Beautiful, everybody. S-cats. Oh, so nice. So let's put these both together. We now have hybrid slides. So what I'd like to do, told you we were going to be doing this together. So down this line, let's call this half of the room Group 1 and this half Group 2. Group 1, I'd like you to start by singing the Hungarian, and Group 2, the English. They happen concurrently. So now you, of course, know what it is that you're singing. So, all heat, when you hit that word heat, where there is faith, there is love. And I'll jump back and forth. Let's try it. So I want to do this 2 times. Trust me, you'll get it. You've already sung it and it sounds great. We're going to do it 2 times. The first time, Hungarian, English, and then we swap. All right? I'll give you fair warning. A couple bars, please. All there is peace, there is szeretet, ad béke, ad béke, ad. Next slide. We need the next slide. first slide. Back to the first slide. All the thoughts out of 10. Where there is all right, beautiful. Well, you got the melody. It was absolutely gorgeous, everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you, S-Cats. Thank you, Tina.
Always the consummate edge. Thank you, David. You all were very brave. Let's give David a round of applause. I leave you with these words again from Black Elk. And I saw a sacred hoop of my people that was one of many hoops made of one circle, wide as daylight and as starlight. And in the center grew one mighty flowering tree to shelter all the children of one mother and one father. And I saw that it was holy. And I would say, Amen. Amen. Let's remain seated for the postlude.
You'll know the words to this one. Feel free to join us. Let's have some fun. You only live once, and when it's done, it's done. So let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. Good times roll. Let the good times roll. I don't care if you're on the road, get together and let the good times roll. Don't sit there mumbling and talking trash. You want to have some fun, you gotta spend some cash and let the good times roll. 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 I don't care if you're on the road, get together and let the good times roll. All right, jam. Knock on the door when the police come around, tell them the joint is closed and let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. Good times roll. Let the good times roll. I don't care if you're on the road, get together and let the good times roll. All right, Kate. Tell everyone that the
Let's have some fun. You only live once, and when it's done, it's done. So let the good times roll. 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 I don't care if you're young or old. Get together and let the good times roll.
Thank you. Thank you.
That fits right in with what Reverend John was talking about, though, right? We got to have some fun while we're doing this heavy lifting, right?
Very good.